Today is June 7th, 2009. I am Andrea Mott. It is a pleasure to conduct this interview for the Dakota Memories Oral History Project in Braddock, North Dakota. Can you please state your full name?
Harry Wolbaum, Jr.
When and where were you born?
East of Linton, the St. Michael's area is what they call.
The St. Michael's area?
St. Michael's, east of Linton.
Okay. Harry, have you ever heard an interesting story about your birth?
What?
About your birth? No interesting story?
No, I don't know anything about it.
Can you please share some of your earliest memories with us?
Oh, I remember when I grew up there. My dad used to have a blacksmith, and I can't remember too much in there till we moved to Braddock.
How old were you then?
I suppose about 8, something like that.
Did you move into town?
No, it's out on the farm. I never lived in town, and I'm never gonna either.
What was it like growing up on the farm?
Oh, there's something to do. We always had to do our own playthings and stuff. It isn't like it's nowadays.
Well, what kind of things would you play?
Oh,
Were there any particular games that you remember?
well, like in school, there's pump and pull and stuff like that, but out in the farm,
Did you play during chore time or?
no, because we were busy.
What were chores like?
We had to be milking cows by hand and feeding the cattle and stuff, and you had to do a lot of that before. Well, we went to school, then come home, and that's the way we grew up with it.
What about field chores? Field chores?
Yeah, field chores, and we had to get. I know we used to cultivate corn with horses, teams, and cut the hay with a team of horses and rake it. And it's not like nowadays. You sit in tractors and air conditioned and everything.
When did you switch from horses to machines?
I don't know. It was in the 30s. Well, then the 30s was that the drought, dust bowls, and everything. And,
what do you remember about the Dust Bowl?
Oh, sometimes you couldn't hardly see nothing but dust, wind blowing and dry. And then we had to put up a lot of thistles for hay for the cattle. And
so you would plant the thistles then? What were the thistles for?
That's about the only thing that grew. Those what they call them Russian thistles. They was big, and they put them up on for hay, for feed. And,
so during this time, how did your family? How did you get through it without being able to?
we had to raise a lot of our own. So like we had hogs, to butcher hogs, and it wasn't like now that you could go to the store. That you had to dress them out, and salt them, put them in the salt barrel, and then we had to smoke and make sausage, and it was good sausage and everything else.
Well, how did you make the sausage?
Well, we had to grind the meat, cut it off, and grind it. Then the bacon was all in slabs, and then it's called grind the meat. And I'll call what a stuffing sausage stuffer. And it's all right.
Harry, can you describe the sausage making process?
Yeah, well, anyway, for the sausage making, they couldn't buy the casings like that. You had to clean out the casings from the hogs, get them good and clean, get them ready, and then stuff the sausage into it. And smoke the sausage. It was an experience. And, talking about, we didn't have the running water like now, but we always had running water at home. But the colder it got, the faster it run, because we run out to the well and pumped it and run back in. That's why I say the colder it got, the faster it run. So,
Would you butcher any of the other farm animals for meat during the winters?
Hmm?
Would you butcher any of the other farm animals for meat
Oh
during
yeah,
the winter?
butcher beef, but that was more towards the fall, and when it's cool, so it could keep it cool. Because like the pork, and they put it in a brine barrel and just salt it, but otherwise it was.
And was that a long process as well?
No, it was home processing, and then harvesting. It wasn't like now. You had the machinery. Tractors were all on steel wheels, and combines. You had to have one guy on the combine, the tractor pulling the combine, and it was totally different than now.
Harry, can you describe the difference between the machinery that you used?
Well, the machinery was a lot different now because it was more on steel wheels. And when they first come out with rubber tire tractors, a lot of people said that'll never work because the rubber won't take it like a steel wheel. And so, but proof they did. So.
What was it like when you switched to rubber tires?
Well, it was different. You had to run over a rock and bust the tire, and then you had to fix it. And where the steel wheel didn't, but it's.
Now, what was the harvest time like? Can you describe what you would do during a typical harvest season?
Seemed like most everybody had used a binder or a header cut, but we never did. We always had a combine, an older combine we had of. We never used. I know, like, my wife, they did a lot of binding and shocking. So that's when I met her. I seen her; she was out there shocking grain. I thought, oh, she's a good worker. So.
And that's when you decided.
Decided, well, that's.
And how old were you when you met her?
Oh, about I suppose 20. 19, 20, something like that.
And how old were you when you got married?
21.
And what was it like when you moved to your farm? When you and Magdalena moved to your farm, what was different about that for you?
I don't know. We just had to kind of work together, and we had to do our milking and do the farming, and then we had the kids, and she took care of the kids at home while I was out farming, and then we was stupid and started raising turkeys. And
Can you explain that a little?
I suppose she told you all about that.
We want to hear it from you.
Yeah,
What can you tell us about raising turkeys?
The only thing I could know is anything stupider than a turkey's a guy raising them. No, it was a challenge. It was, when you get them in where they're just hatched, and you get them in, and you had to be in with them. Because one made it beep, the rest all beeped. It was a racket. But that's the way we got to start getting our land paid for and stuff. Because the crops, you couldn't really depend on that, and so it was a challenge. Mm-hmm.
Now,
but
go ahead. Were you going to say something else?
No.
I didn't want to interrupt you. Now, when you were on the farm, were there any other animals that you raised at that time besides turkeys?
Well, we had cattle. I mean, raised. We always had about 75 head. Then we had the calves and raised them, and we didn't feed them out. We just sold them As soon as we weaned them off the cows and we took them sales ring and sold them.
Would they sell for very much
They would.
at that time? Would they sell for very much at that time?
No, they were a lot cheaper than now. So it's, but it was.
What would you say a typical the price would be for a cow at that time?
Well, if you got $100 for a calf, that was a good price at that time. Right now, I think you're $500-600, I think, or something like that for. But I don't think anybody's making any more. Might just handling more money, more paper, not more. It's because everything else is that much higher priced.
Did you ever have any help on the farm? Was it just the two of you?
No, we just me and the wife was started. We had milking cows. Then when the kids come, the kids they were out there too. They had to work, not party until.
And what did you think of town kids? Since you were raised on a farm, what did you think of them?
No, I don't know. I think they had their own life. I think they weren't. I don't know. As far as I know, I always thought there was good kids. They was. I don't know. We went to a party. We stayed at a party. Not like now. They don't like it here. They go to another place.
Did you go to barn dances and things like that?
Hmm?
Did you go to barn dances or things like that?
Oh yeah, we had barn dances.
And what did you think of those?
But what?
What did you think of those? Of the barn dances?
Oh, they were a lot of fun. There was a lot of.
And do you think people thought of you differently because you were a farm kid?
Yeah, it's a lot different now. It's when I was a farm kid, there were a lot of farms out, a lot of farmers, and but now there's big farmers, and not which I would like to see more people out there yet. There's a lot of these farms are disappearing, which I think, I don't know. I thought it was better when there were more farms, more people out there than. So I don't know.
And what kind of crops did you have?
What kind?
Mm-hmm.
We just had mostly wheat, wheat and corn. And corn we never harvested. We just cut it for feed, for silage.
Would you? Oh, go ahead.
And now with these grain augers and stuff, like when we got home, we had to shovel it off of the truck into the bin and then shovel it out by scoop shovel out onto the truck again. So it's altogether different.
It's all automated. Where
Mm-hmm.
Do you often religion? I'd like to talk a little bit about religion.
Hmm?
Was your family religious when you were younger?
Catholic and religious. We always.
Were your parents strict with it?
And my parents.
Were they strict with it?
Not really. They made us, but not really. Not really that strict. They was. We were brought up. I think I have respect for the religion and for the other people, no matter what it was. I respect the people. It was like we went to farm school and they were all different religions, so it was, I don't know, everybody got along real good.
Even though you're from different religions?
Yeah, it was, I don't think they were brought up to religion in school or anything.
And do you remember what church services were like when you were a child?
Oh yeah, they were kind of a lot stricter than now.
How so?
You had to learn you study your Bible and stuff, and and they were stricter about how to put it, but
Were there any particular seating arrangements within the church?
no, yeah, there were. When we grew up, there was more or less the men had their more seating arrangements, and then the women, and then the women always had to have more or less had their head covered, you know. But I know it's just kind of gradually changed, which I think was better than. And like the children were always the boys to one side and the girls the other side, and up in front.
And what would happen if you got in trouble?
Oh, I don't know. You got a good scolding and a whipping, and
That ever happened to you?
not really. I seen some other kids get it, so I was kind of scared.
Where was the nearest church?
Well, like Braddock in town. That's where it was.
And what's that church?
It was a church what?
What's the name of that church?
It was St. Catherine's now, but I don't know what it was before. They changed it over.
Were you confirmed in that church?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Can you tell us about it?
I can't remember too much of it. It was just.
What about religious activities? Did you do anything outside of an actual church service?
No, we had what they call a fidelity. The group were together and had meetings, and then we had our special, like Sundays, we had all ball teams and with where they all got together, and then we had picnics.
And what were these picnics like?
I thought it was fun. There's a lot of food.
What kind of food?
I don't
Do you
know.
remember?
No, there's all kinds of.
So these, I'm assuming you played baseball?
It was
Games
what
or
they
other
call
games?
kitten ball, softball. That's what it was mostly.
And how often would you get together to play kitten ball?
It was mostly on a Sunday, because during the week we had to work. Now they played basketball all week, and
And what other kind of games would you play on Sundays? Was it always kitten ball, or would that change?
mostly kitten ball and us. I don't know. And then, like we always had, our girls was more in. We wanted them more in music. And I mean, for music, for playing organ and stuff better than, and I don't know, none of them were really in the basketball. And I always said, I don't know what you think about basketball, but I think it's all right, but it's overdone. They, where there's music, that goes with them for the rest of their life. Or basketball, out of school, and what have they got? And
Did you play anything musical when you were growing up?
no, I wasn't. But I had a brother that was playing accordion and stuff, and now we got two of the grandgirls are organists in churches, and they were these kids playing basketball. Well, I don't know. Well, you probably felt better about basketball than I did, because I never played it, and it was, I might get into trouble for it, but it's the way I feel about it.
No, I'm going to transition just a little bit. We talked about the Dirty 30s just a little bit earlier. Do you remember the WPA?
Yeah, WPA. See, there was south of Braddock. There's a dam built, what they call the project for the people to. My dad was working there he had a tractor there, and that's where my dad worked a lot there, and we had to be home taking care of the cattle and stuff. That's what more or less our chores. And then there's a WPA, like in town, there's, they make these outhouses for the schools, where they move them out to the schools, and that was projects so people had jobs.
Was the school a WPA project? Was the Braddock School a WPA project?
No, I went to school in a farm school here. That's where they had one of those outhouses where they build and where they had jobs building them and taking them out and setting them up and digging the hole.
And on a somewhat similar topic, what about the CCC? What do you remember about that?
No, I wasn't. I had a brother in CCs, you mean? Mm-hmm. No, I never. My brother was in on it. I don't know nothing about the CCs because I wasn't in on it.
Okay. Can you tell us how the outbreak of World War II changed your life?
If what?
How the outbreak of World War II changed your life? Did it change your life?
No. I mean, if I change it, or...
Did it change your life? World War II?
No, not really. I don't think it... I mean, it changed my life. I mean, if I'd do it over again, there's probably things I'd do a little different, but I don't know, I thought we did all right. I don't know.
Do you remember where you were when World War II started?
No, I was mostly at home, just working, doing chores, feeding cattle, and...
How did rationing affect your family?
Rationing? Oh, not really too bad. It was, we had a kind of, I mean, you could only get that much ration for gas and stuff. You had to kind of watch that you didn't use it for... But I think we did all right out of it.
You raised most of the things you ate anyway, correct?
But
you raised most of the food you ate anyway,
yeah,
so it wasn't as big a deal.
Yeah, we raised most of our...
Do you think that speaking German affected your relationship with others during that time?
Oh, in a way, kind of, but... Because, we couldn't really talk English when we started school, but we got...
And when did you, oh, go ahead.
And there were a lot of the other kids too, so...
So you weren't that different?
No, we weren't that different, no. It was...
was anyone in your family drafted?
No.
Mm. Any...
I was drafted for... but I just had appendix surgery at that time, so I just wasn't in the army then.
So you didn't have to go?
No, didn't have to go because couldn't hardly walk when they...
What was your most stressful childhood experience?
I don't know. I just can't really remember what the childhood experience, I don't know.
Anything stressful that happened that stands out?
Not really.
What about your happiest childhood memory? Do you have one?
Not really. It was everyday life, it seemed like. It was...
What was the most adventurous thing you did in your childhood?
Most adventurous thing?
Most adventurous.
That's hard telling.
You pick one?
Well, I know when we went to their neighbors used to have sheep, and when they were all kind of in the barn, and we said if you lay down in front of it, the sheep will jump over you, and one kid said okay, but he found out the first one jumped, but the other ones didn't. So kind of was trampled a little bit by the time they're all out.
Was he injured pretty badly?
Not really, but
But he learned a lesson.
and things like that. I mean, we just go out and catch gophers and
Oh, how would you catch a gopher?
with a twine. See, when he went down the hole, watch, put a snare in there and sit back, and when he stuck his head up, pulled at the rope and catch him by his neck. But now we haven't got the gophers anymore like we used to have.
And why is that?
I don't know, something killed
Just
them
not as
off.
bad?
I suppose spray and poison in it, so I don't know. And when we were like along the creek, we did a lot of trapping, mink trapping and skunk trapping, and
What was that like?
that was our spending money.
How would you catch a skunk?
Skunk, well, wire or something that really smelled, but they really got a buck for a skunk, or well, that's $1 was $1 them days.
So you'd get skunks, and what else did you trap?
Rabbits, but mink. Mink was a pretty good. If you had a good sized mink, you got $30 for it. That was a. But
Did you ever catch one?
oh yeah, I caught a few.
What about hunting? Did you ever have to hunt because you?
No,
had
I
farm
didn't
animals?
really. I wasn't really into that hunting.
And how long did you trap? Did you go trapping?
No, well, I don't know. I was married. I still made my rounds in the creek here trapping, and one day I found a skeleton along the creek here.
What kind of skeleton?
I don't know. I want to see the picture of it?
Oh, hold on. Can you show me when we're done?
Yeah.
Down a minute.
It was, I was watching my trap line, and I seen this along the creek. I kind of seen this kind of bones, and finally I found it was human bones, so we looked and reported, and they come out and dug it out. And so, I don't know, it's
What was it like discovering something like that?
something different. I mean, first off, thought it looked like, first seen some bones, and when I seen it was a human, but never found out what it was, or where it come from, or what it was buried along with the creek bank had fallen off. So, I don't know.
Who came out to look at the bones?
There was, out of Bismarck they come with and they dug it out, and they took it to Bismarck, so I don't know whatever happened to it, I don't know.
I'm going to put in some concluding remarks here. Why do you think it's important to tell your life story?
That's what?
Why do you think it's important to tell your life story?
I can't.
Why do you think it's important for you to tell your story?
I don't know. I don't think it makes much difference, because I don't know, it's.
Do you hope that maybe the younger generations will learn something from the hardships you went through as a child?
I don't know, I suppose, but I don't know if they'll learn anything, because they still got their own life. I mean, they'll just, I don't know, it's. And if I'd start over again, there's probably things I'd do different, but experience with it, I don't know. I don't know.
All right. Well, do you have any other thoughts on anything that you would like to share?
No, some of the things I probably want to talk about.